Hi, hello everyone. Great to see you again, or even not again. Maybe you're the first time you visit our YouTube channel of Beetroot Academy. My name is Varvara. I'm a PR manager of Beetroot Academy, and today I will be moderating this webinar, which is actually dedicated to one of the hottest topics, AI. Artificial intelligence. I'm sure you've heard about it, but today we will talk about how to actually make AI tools your personal assistants, which will boost your productivity and help you to work more effectively. And here is our speaker who will actually tell you this. We call him AI Wizard at Beetroot Academy, Aleksander. Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Before we start, I want to clarify a few organizational moments. First of all, the recording of this webinar will be available via this link on our YouTube channel, and also we will send the link to the email to all the participants who registered for it. So don't worry if you don't have ability to watch it like now, but I advise to watch it till the end, because you will have possibility to ask questions. If something is not clear, please use our live chat and type everything you want to ask. I will pass these questions to Alex. And also, I will be grateful if you type anything like plus or okay if you hear and see as well. So we will be sure that we don't have any troubles with our stream. And we can start.
Okay, so now it's my time, I guess.
Yeah, I see some pluses. I think everything is okay with the stream, so
Okay, fantastic.
This virtual stage to you. Welcome.
Okay, so I'm now sharing my screen and we will start. Okay. So thank you for this intro, Varvara, and I'm really pleased that I have all of you here. I saw that this webinar had a massive interest in terms of the number of participants, so I'm kind of shocked. And it also, I think it will be a very satisfying lesson for you, because I have some tricks and aces in my sleeve to show you today. As Varvara previously said, the webinar topic is the best tips to boost productivity and optimize your workflow using AI. And I will try to maybe switch some things a bit and do it in my original way. So who I am exactly? My name is Aleksander. I'm from Poland. I live in Krakow. And my career had some weird turns, I guess, but finally it came together to a very satisfying moment. So for the last decade, I was a tech journalist. I was writing for the biggest Polish media outlets about the new technologies. I was traveling with the biggest tech companies like Facebook, Huawei, Google, and others to all over the world. And I was seeing a lot of products, a lot of services, a lot of new technologies, like from the hands-on perspective. Since 2019, I have tried integrating my skills into a modern marketing environment, and I was working as a content creator with some skills on the communication. And I was writing also, when I was working as a journalist, I was writing about AI from various perspectives. So when ChatGPT was released by OpenAI, I spent like massive hours trying to get the most out of it, trying to learn as much as possible within the interface, and trying to like create some kind of a personal assistant for me, and try different tools to make my work, my life, and my private time easier and more comfortable. So in the right corner, you can see the QR code that will take you to my LinkedIn profile, where you can ask me whatever you want. I'm also sharing there some news about AI, and I'm writing about how to get the most out of ChatGPT. So I think this is the biggest TLDR in my career that I've done about myself, and we can start by start this webinar and start learning, and I will show you what I got. So first of all, why we should care about AI? like the AI is now a really, really big buzzword in not only in the tech environment, but I see also it in healthcare, in administration work, in legal activities. The possibilities are almost endless. And I think the biggest asset of yours that you can learn today and future-proof yourself in your career is learn how to talk with AI and how to get the best output and try to solve problems using complex algorithms. I personally use AI every day for content generation, for my personal productivity, and sometimes for data analysis, because I'm not very good in numbers. My brain is not like logic and mathematical. I'm like a more creative person, and there is a lot of chaos. So AI, especially ChatGPT, is helping me like to do it and do certain things. So AI is a technology that will revolutionize the market in various ways, because as for now, people are a bit scared about AI, and I think like it's true, we can be scared about it, but when you will understand the fundamentals behind the AI and how it works, you will see it as a mostly, I guess, expanded autocorrect, like when you are writing something on your smartphone and the keyboard is doing work with your misspellings or grammar errors or something like that. It will not have like human brain capabilities, at least as for now. I think it will change in the coming decade or maybe faster, because the advancements in the AI field are revolutionary, and the new products are coming every day and new ideas are coming like every hour. I cannot even have time to look at all of these trends that are there. So when it comes to AI, we must understand the basics, the fundamentals, even if you are not a beginner and you have previous experience with AI. So what is AI? AI at its core is the capability of machine to imitate intelligent human behavior. AI do it by using techniques and programming languages, mostly as machine learning, natural language processing, and LLMs. LLMs is a different part, and I will focus now on the machine learning and natural language processing. So, as I said before, we cannot replicate the human brain, but we can teach the algorithms to learn by themselves from the data we fed them. The machine learning is about recreating the neurological things that are happening in our brain when we think and when we do certain tasks, to imitate them by the computer. So you can imagine if you watched 2001 Space Odyssey, where there was HAL 9000, the most capable computer. It will not work like that in the coming years, but I guess it's the thing that we are going through. So in terms of AI, I think 70 or 80% of working with AI is prompts. Prompts are the instructions that allow you to communicate with large language models, for example, like ChatGPT. In this webinar, I will be telling you more about GPT-4. You can also use GPT 3.5 Turbo, but I think the investment of $20 a month in the Plus version of ChatGPT is absolutely worth it, because it's a hell lot of better than 3.5. So I have a question for you: that have you experimented with your own prompts or maybe designed some of them? Do you know how they work? If yes, fantastic. If not, I will show you today how to understand the basics and the fundamentals behind the prompts and how to design them in your own way and fine-tune them to do the things that you want them to do. So what exactly is ChatGPT-4? ChatGPT-4 is a large language model that was trained over 1.7 trillion machine learning parameters. Parameters are what the model uses to generate text and make decisions. Architecture of the GPT-4 is transformer-based. This means that this architecture is known for its ability to handle a wide range of language processing tasks. This is very important. However, the training data that was used for ChatGPT-4 is like not presented to the core of the GPT. It was trained on a diverse range of internet texts. However, it should be noted that GPT-4 doesn't know specifics about which documents were in its training set. It's all about the text, and it's all about scraping the web and getting as more data as possible. So I listed here the 3 main capabilities of ChatGPT-4 and other large language models. These are the text generation. It can write essays, summarize articles, generate even some snippets of the code, and even create poetry. You can also do it in a humorous way. I'm constantly surprising my friends doing some jokes by writing poetry by AI. You should try that. It also can do translation from various languages. From my experience, you can also use to this other tools like Google Translate, but for me the tool which is working the best is the DeepL. It also is working on artificial intelligence, and it handles certain tasks better than ChatGPT. Another thing is question answering. Large language model can answer questions based on the information it's been trained on, although it doesn't have real-time access to current data. This is the very important thing that I want you to remember, that the database that ChatGPT is using right now is limited to, as I remember, January of 2022. So everything what's new after that will be not included in the responses of ChatGPT. However, you can like make it work by using some custom plugins or Microsoft Bing plugin that is built directly into the ChatGPT interface. And do you maybe have some ideas on how to use GPT-4 now? Maybe you will translate some things, maybe you will create some summaries of the things that you are doing, or maybe on large documents that you have, or maybe on your notes. I think the possibilities are almost endless, and I will show you next more about it. So we can go even further. I was talking about making things possible with AI based on text, but if you don't know, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, OpenAI added the DALL-E plugin to the ChatGPT, which is a image generation model that can generate images based on your prompts and detailed prompts. So you can see here on the video on the right side the images that I generated, because personally I really love anime in the cyberpunk style from the 80s and 90s, like Ghost in the Shell or Akira or stuff like that. And I was always trying to draw these things myself, and now I just prompted it into DALL-E and it returned some images for me. As you can see, the results are really, really incredible in terms of the quality, and you can use them anywhere you want. I recognize that during the weekends, I'm like laying in bed and prompting the chat to return me some images, because I have so much thing on my mind that I want to translate to visuals that you can't even imagine that. So as you can see, the results are pretty incredible, and each one of you can do the same things and even better ones if you will train a bit. So if you are interested in image generation using AI, you can also use these simpler alternatives. My favorites, to be honest, is the Recraft. It's the prompt-based tool for image creation. It can generate vector art, drawings, illustrations, logos, flat icons, whatever you want, just based on your prompt. And it's working like a blank canvas when you can prompt things and see your output in form of the image. The second tool that I want you to know is the Adobe Firefly tool. This is the direct competitor for DALL-E that I mentioned before, because Adobe, the company behind the Photoshop and Adobe Premiere and other useful software for creatives, is expanding their field in terms of AI, and it's like growing their own model for image generation, and it's also very, very good, and it requires a lot more prompting than DALL-E, and I think you should test it out by yourself. And the last one is well-known Midjourney. It's the most popular subscription tool for image generation. I don't use it much because I don't like the prompts and some kind of a coding and things that you must do in terms of the text to achieve the best output. So here, I want you to stop for a second and look at your screen, because we are coming to the most important part of this webinar. And the most important message that I want to pass to you, not like some LinkedIn gurus or people that are selling prompt templates and things like that. I want you to be really focused now. So I don't want you to use prompt templates, like never use prompt templates. You might see people selling prompts, selling the templates, selling the big prompts for the length of like A4 card or something. And I don't want you to use that, because there are some reasons why you shouldn't. So you may now wonder why. This is the basic question. Why? Because using prompts that was generated as a templates, and often they require some tiny input from you to generate the output from the ChatGPT. And don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong when using prompt templates, but I think you can learn much more and do much more by yourself when you understand how they work. So in terms of the prompt templates, there is always a solution like one size fits all. And there are some cons of them, like lack of customization. You cannot customize these prompts. You can reverse engineer them, but you cannot do that in the bigger picture, like in the more holistic view. You also have quite often the generic outputs. The outputs of your prompts will be not as satisfying as when you will design your own prompt. There is also a very big risk of...
Yeah? I'm sorry for interrupting you, but we have already a few questions in the live chat, okay. And I guess we have to make a step back because people are asking to explain what is actually prompt template.
Okay, we will go back. And the prompt template is previously made prompt by someone with the instructions for ChatGPT, and it's a prompt generated by someone, and it requires only providing some context from you and some of your data, not giving the instructions, not giving your instructions to ChatGPT. It looks like there is a prompt for generating articles, instructions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in points. And in the end, there is a place when you can put your text, your thought, or your idea, or something like that. And I will exactly show you later in this presentation how it works and how I do it and how my prompt templates look like, which I use almost every day. And when you have more questions, please ask them. I will try to explain it as simple as possible for you to understand. So going back to one size fits all. For me, the biggest problems when it comes to prompt templates is the risk of misunderstanding in terms of how the prompt template is working. And finally, the biggest point for me is it limits your learning. When I was starting a journey with ChatGPT and with prompting and with working with AI more closely, I was using a lot of prompt templates, and sometimes I felt even overwhelmed with them, and I didn't understand how they work exactly. So I encourage you once again to make your own prompts, because your own prompts will be, one, highly customizable. You will do whatever you want with them. They will be task specific. It will solve concrete problem of yours and will relieve some of the pain that you have in terms of doing some repetitive tasks or other tasks in terms of the productivity. You will learn faster how they work, how to put there to get the desired output, and you will have the ownership and full control of this prompt and the full view of it, what it do basically from the start to the end. So I know that a lot of things are coming through your mind now, and I will try to simplify it as best as possible. So where to start with prompt generation? For me, it's always about asking some important questions. What's my goal? Who is it for? How long should it be? What is my desired output? And is it safe in terms of personal data? So I will share with you my thought process about it. Let's say I want to resolve some problem. So I know what output that I want. So I'm trying to note the output, my desired output that I want, and take a few steps back to the beginning and see how I can solve it. Like if I paste this note here, then the ChatGPT using my prompt will do this, that, and the other thing, and it will solve my problem. It may be some kind of a sorting of data, making summaries, like creating bullet points from a longer article and things like that. I will show you later how it works exactly in the notes, and I also prepare some short exercise for you to do. So basically, when you are trying to create a prompt, you must answer first some questions like, what's my goal? What do you want to achieve with this prompt? Who is it for? Is it only for me, or is it for the bigger audience? Or is it for my company to use? Who will have the access for it? And stuff like that. How long should it be? Could it be like 2 sentences, maybe 5, maybe 10, maybe 15? You must know that. What is my desired output? I think it's the most important question. What I want to achieve by this prompt for the output to ChatGPT. And is it safe in terms of personal data? I encourage you to not share the personal data with the OpenAI and ChatGPT, and I will also talk about it later. So here you can see my approach that I've done for you about the notes that I mentioned. As an example, for this event, I created a basic prompt that will transform your voice notes, thoughts, and ideas into actionable pieces. It will also broaden your perspective on specific topics. As you can read this prompt, it goes like that. From the following transcription of a voice note, identify critical thoughts, ideas, or statements worth expanding upon for creating content. Also, provide a summary sentence for each specified thought. After summarizing, generate 3 questions that could broaden the perspective and offer a more holistic view of each identified key thought. Finally, suggest actionable steps based on key thought. This is the prompt template that I've mentioned, because as you can see, you have the placeholder at the bottom that says your voice note transcription, or your note, or your thought, or something like that. And I want you to understand how exactly this prompt is working and what instructions does it have to work properly. So as you can see, there are a lot of concise but critical words for ChatGPT related to actions. From the following transcription of a voice note. So the ChatGPT knows that there is a voice note, and I will place a voice note in text or maybe some other text. Identify critical thoughts, ideas, or statements worth expanding. So automatically, the algorithms in the ChatGPT will try to prioritize and identify these elements in my notes. Also, provide a summary sentence for each specified thought. So if the thought will be too long or too expanded, ChatGPT automatically will give me one sentence like a summary. And that's the other thing. After summarizing, generate 3 questions that could broaden the perspective and offer a more holistic view on each identified key thought. So what it basically do is asks me 3 questions for each of the topics to broaden my perspective and maybe cover some things that I didn't know about before when I was taking my note and pasting this note into ChatGPT. I also personally like to use sometimes contrarian views, because I live in a bubble, in a tech bubble. We all live in bubbles, and sometimes it's worth to get outside to not only get some sun, but also to speak with people and speak to algorithms also. And I like the contrarian views that are produced by ChatGPT after my prompt, because they give me a better perspective. And the last action is finally suggest actionable steps based on each key thought. So as you can see, the last sentence is related to the first sentence when ChatGPT identified critical thoughts, ideas, or statements. And then based on them, it will give me some actionable steps that are related to them. So any questions? I will give you a minute.
We have some questions related to private data into security, but I thought we will talk about it a little bit later.
We will be talking about it.
Yes. Like no questions by now.
Okay, fantastic. Let's go further. So my biggest thing that I want to include in this message and in this webinar is to always aim for specificity and details. It's good to ask ChatGPT follow-up questions. It's bad that most of the people limit themselves only for one straight answer. So basically, I want you to treat the GPT algorithms and chat like your intern, your assistant, your colleague that is sitting next to you or behind you or anything, just anything. Like you can just have a conversation with it. I often see this mistake when people are trying the prompts that goes like, generate a summary for me from this. And this is the end of the conversation. You can achieve a lot more in terms of the quality of the output when you will ask the questions directly, like, what can I do with this? What do you think about this? You can do comparisons. You can like extract this knowledge into completely new field or new level. So please remember that specificity, context, and details are the most important part while working with AI. And the faster you understand the mechanisms laying behind conversational agents like ChatGPT and conversations with them, the quicker you will work, the quicker you will boost your productivity and boost your knowledge about AI and all things related to large language models. So when you will understand the mechanisms like these that I show you here in terms of this prompt, you can do a screenshot, but I will send this presentation to you also because I want you to have this knowledge by hand. So the faster you will do it, the faster you will gain the understanding of these things, your speed of work with ChatGPT and prompting will be faster, a little bit like twice faster. Your versatility in terms of creating your own prompts will be better. You will freely choose the parameters that you want to include in your prompts. You will navigate this landscape of large language models faster, and the navigation between prompts will be much easier for you. You will see the bigger potential about ChatGPT, and not only ChatGPT, but other tools that are working based on AI, because in the end, this is the fundamentals and the mechanics, because besides on the back end of ChatGPT are always the same. So if you will cover these points like understanding speed, versatility, parameters, navigation, and potential, the action and implementation of your own prompts and your things that you want to do with ChatGPT will be much faster. So I have a small homework for you. Please make a screenshot out of it and be focused. Now, I want to show you how important is the context in terms of prompting in ChatGPT. Please open the ChatGPT and ask him, what should I pack for the trip? And see what output you will get. Next, please copy this prompt from here or add more details from your head, like, what should I pack for a weekend trip to a cold city with limited luggage space and plans for sightseeing and a fancy dinner? As you can see, we don't have only the trip here. We have weekend trip, cold city, limited luggage space, plans for sightseeing and a fancy dinner. You can add like I will be in Barcelona, there will be weather like this and that. I will try to do sightseeing and see this and that, and see what output you will get. And do you see how did these two responses differ in terms of the output that you will get from ChatGPT? So this is basically a small homework, the easiest one that I can create, because I was thinking a lot how to show you exactly what is the context and the meaning of this context in terms of working with AI. So I have a small bonus for you if you are overwhelmed already with this knowledge and the things about the prompts. This is the best tool that I've encountered. It's currently in beta and it's available for free. When you will type in the Google AI Mind prompt generator, it will appear as a first one. What it basically do, the AI Mind prompt generator, it takes your single input and it enhances your prompt for the detailed version. So you can also choose your presets for the output. And I think this tool is amazing in terms of not only you using it, but also to see how exactly the prompt engineering is working, how you can make your prompting techniques better, and how to get better outputs, because that's what's all about. What is this webinar about getting better outputs and about speeding your work and boosting your productivity. And I will show you how it exactly works. The biggest mistake that I see when I teach people how to interact with AI is their inability to formulate prompts properly and even ask questions that will provide better details. I mentioned it a couple of minutes ago. This tool makes it different. As you can see on the screen, I provided my basic single line prompt. Can you teach me how to create prompts for ChatGPT? And the enhanced prompt is the output that you can see on the right side of the screen. As you can see, it not only improved my prompt and create a bullet list of the things that was important, but also created additional context for this prompt that you can paste directly to ChatGPT, because the output that you can see here, you can copy this and paste into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will answer you in a better way. So I think this tool is absolutely fantastic. I think that the company behind it achieved something that is very intriguing to me about their system prompt, the system prompt behind this tool that is enhancing your prompt. I don't know how it works. I was trying to recreate, but I failed a couple of times, but I will not give up, and I will try to reverse engineer this prompt to see how it exactly works. And I think it's really, really helpful, especially if you are a beginner and want to learn how to create and design the prompts. So let's have a quick break and talk about limitation and fails. Do we have any questions?
Yes, we have some questions. Do you use any AI as Bard, and what's the difference?
Okay, I used other tools, not only the ChatGPT. I used also Bard, and I'm trying to use Claude from Anthropic by a VPN, because it's not available in my country yet, in Poland. I think the Bard has good potential in terms of creating good answers, but I think that as for now, ChatGPT is beating Bard to the bone. I can say my personal prediction is that Bard will be as good as ChatGPT and will be integrated into Google Search and other Google products and Google Workspace. I can personally wait for that in Sheets or in Google Docs. But to be honest, I'm not using it a lot, because I think that from my perspective, the ChatGPT generate better answers. Any other questions we have?
Yes, we have one more. We have a comment that Bard is a little silly.
I can relate.
Yeah, and one more question is, speaking of prompt templates, you advise to use our own. Does it mean there are some general, I'm sorry, I didn't say it, general prompt templates in ChatGPT?
There is not. There are not like people who create their own prompt templates and share them on LinkedIn, on Twitter. There are a lot of accounts, and if you catch me on LinkedIn, I will send you the things that I read where you can have the prompts and where you can like see how it works exactly. I will also tell you how it works. But ChatGPT have only this like a couple of boxes that you can use, but they are not quite specific. In terms of using own prompt templates, I meant that you create a prompt template once and you will use it like for a couple more times and more frequently. And I will show it also later at the end of this presentation for you to understand. And I will explain you what my prompt templates are doing. I can also share them with you. This is not a problem. Any more?
Oh, no, we can move on. Mm-hmm.
In terms of limitations and fails, there are a couple of them. In terms of limitations, these are the data, the costs related to training the models. Sorry, it's really expensive. The repeatability, as you can see, or maybe from your experience, the ChatGPT is repeating himself a lot, especially with this phrase, which I love, as an artificial intelligence, I can't help, blah, 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 and stuff like that. These are also the limitations are ethics, because ChatGPT don't know exactly the cultural context of things, the thoughts behind some bigger mental models or something like that. And for me, the most important thing is that ChatGPT is also limited in terms of the prompt engineering. This is why like prompt engineering is so important for you to understand, because when you will understand the prompt engineering and you will be able to create your own prompts, you will do it faster. In terms of fails, the most popular are hallucinations. The ChatGPT returns sometimes the answers that are fake and are lies in maybe sometimes, and it uses like not real data to support his statements. So I encourage you to always double check the things from your output, because I saw big mistakes even in legal activities that was passed to the client or by some agency, and it was not looking good. In terms of the second biggest fail is the new data. It's not up to date. It's limited in terms of his database, which is his or hers, I don't know, database, which is for January 2022, as I said. It cannot access data in real time. However, you can use Microsoft Bing plugin to do a research, and it often uses sensationalism, which I personally hate, because I can see often that ChatGPT uses some kind of weird language, or maybe a lot of jargon, or maybe a lot of sweet language, as I like to call it. In terms of safety, we have, of course, the security issues, like your private data and data that you use in terms of docs that you have for your company, or maybe some other sensitive information. There's also a possibility to attack, not maybe exactly OpenAI, but it can also happen. But I see on Reddit where people discuss that their apps based on AI was attacked, and how to protect them better to not steal the system prompts and user data. So the last ones are user privacy and accountability. I think these two are the most important, because you must always care about your privacy, and I encourage you to do so, to not provide a lot of specific details about yourself in terms of the AI. Of course, you must use them for context, but be aware of that. And accountability is a problem, because as for now, the landscape of AI is that fluid that we don't know who's responsible if something fails or the data will be stolen. Like, is it OpenAI? Is it the engineer who designed the system, or is it maybe a government? We don't know. So this is evolving field, and we must be sure to keep updated about it. So as I previously said, couple of times, you don't want to share any sensitive information. Some companies already have particular policies regarding interaction with ChatGPT using company-specific information. It's okay when data can be anonymized. It's not good when something important will lead to leak, and we had some leaks like that. I can mention the Samsung disclosed the usage of ChatGPT in their work. I know some companies that don't allow also using ChatGPT in work. These are the biggest corporations from the financial sector. Also, some universities, NGOs, or other agencies that and firms that have the access to the sensitive data. So we are coming to an end, and the most interesting thing for me in this presentation, I want to show you how exactly I use ChatGPT as quick as possible. So every Saturday morning, I send my newsletter to the audience. This is the Keygen. I write about the artificial intelligence. One of the parts of this newsletter is short news summarized in just a couple of sentences. I use my prompt for the concise output. It saves me at least 30 or even 45 minutes of my time every week. And anything that I need is just text, and it requires almost no edits, as this is exactly the prompt template that I was telling you before. And you can see how I use it in my daily work. So as ChatGPT is here asked to be an expert in content marketing and copywriting, and the task is to summarize the following text for me in English. So as you can see here in the guidelines, I have 12 elements that are going in the background. When I paste the text in this field, text to summarize, it will check for the key elements, format it, it will use active voice and clear language, even keep the summary to a maximum of 150 words. And finally, it will check it for plagiarism and the clarity check, do the clarity check to see that it's free from jargon or technical terms that are not widely understood. I know that this is a lot to process, but the output is really fantastic every time, and I use it every week, and it gives me really fantastic results. So next one is my prompt template to review my content, especially this one that I do for social media, and provide me detailed analysis to expand my creativity or think about what I just wrote. It's fine-tuned by me and more complicated. It serves me as some kind of personal assistant. It pinpoints my potential mistakes, which is very important for me, and is working great on short form and especially on long form content. So as you can see, this is the ChatGPT content review and analysis tool, as I named it, and it have some automated checklist in 17 points. Value, target audience, problem solving. It looks for elements that establish the author's credibility. It assesses if the content feels personal or relatable. It even evaluates if the context connects on an emotional level with my audience. So this is also a very complicated prompt, but I have another one that I can show you. The best part for the final to this webinar is if you know the fundamentals. I know that I sound like a broken record, but if you know the fundamentals and you are curious enough, you don't need to have the huge library of prompts. Just suit them for your current needs, work together with ChatGPT, and iterate freely. And I want to show you what's my thought process behind creating this homework for you and this prompt. So as you can see, I write to ChatGPT, I want to create engaging yet simple homework for the audience that will come to my webinar about AI and ChatGPT. Welcome. I want them to learn quickly how they can incorporate context in their prompts to get better results. I don't want to overwhelm them with knowledge, so it must be easy to digest. Can we design together and iterate on a prompt for ChatGPT that will generate different homeworks each time? As you can see, the prompt is long and this is what I was talking about. This is my desired output. I want ChatGPT and AI to give me generate homework generate different homework each time that I paste my prompt. And the ChatGPT created a basic prompt here in the Markdown format, as you can see, and it only requires you to provide more information and change the question or add some constraints to get different results every time, and you can use it like a wheel, like a hamster running on a wheel. So from this output, you can take it even further and ask ChatGPT other questions, like, can we do this with this? Can we add something here? My favorite method is to write him, okay, it looks good. What do you think we can add here? And it will list you some ideas and mention some ideas that you can incorporate in your prompt. So that is exactly my thought process, and how I see the AI, how I understand speaking with large language models. So I think that's about it. And are you ready for more? Because now we encourage you to check our Intro to Tech course, and you can do it completely for free at Beetroot Academy. And you will find it here by scanning your QR code. And the best part of that is that you will also get 10% discount for our courses with dedicated AI module in each of them. I want you really to check the Intro to Tech course because it will give you better knowledge in terms of creating maybe some kind of a specialization for you and the path that you want to go in the digital landscape. So if you have more questions, or you will need help, or you didn't understand something, or you want me to explain it in simpler words, or maybe create even a prompt with you, I will not create a prompt for you. I can meet up with you and help you create it by yourself and show you how to do it. So you can always write to me directly on LinkedIn, and you can find my LinkedIn linked here in the QR code. So before the webinar started, we had some questions related to AI and ChatGPT, and I have them here, and I will answer it. Or maybe you have, Varvara, another questions from the chat.
Oh, yes, we have a few of them. Is there a way to ask ChatGPT to write the exact number of words? For example, if I need a 900 words article.
Yes, there is a way, but from my experience, sometimes it gets messy. From my experience and my approach, how I approach it, because I also use ChatGPT for generating long-form content, it's better to do it in chunks. Like, firstly, ask ChatGPT to create for you a draft with points that you want to cover, or even provide him or her a draft with the points that you want to cover, and then expand each of the points till you get your desired characters, because sometimes it gets really messy. I often, in terms of the summaries that I showed you, I often show him or her summaries and the length that I desire of 150, and sometimes it's 300 or even 400. So it's better to keep in check and do it in parts.
Okay, thanks. Also, listeners are asking if ChatGPT can create good advertised banners.
Yes, of course, it can create. If you want to create these kind of things, I have experience in it. Please write to me on LinkedIn directly, and I will show you how to do it.
Okay, and one more question from live chat. What role does the 3# sign plays in the prompts?
Okay. You mean this?
Like, yeah, roles.
You mean this? Yeah. The hashtags that you can see serves like some kind of a dividers in terms of the instructions for ChatGPT. And when you put this divider, it's good to put it because ChatGPT will know where something starts and where it ends. Sometimes when the prompt is bigger and the number of tasks is is huge. ChatGPT can sometimes do a mess in terms of the output, and the technique with the hashtags or dots or something is just to tell him that something is starting and something is ending at this point, and don't like to glue up some parts or just like break them down into smaller chunks. So that's it.
So one more question appeared. Tatiana says, thanks about explaining prompts. Can you also give examples of other actions, managing to-do lists, setting reminders, and scheduling meetings?
Okay, so in terms of to-do lists, reminders, and meetings, I encourage you to try for free the tool that will do work for you, and I'm using it every day at my work. It's integrated to my Slack and my calendar and email. It's called Reclaim AI, RECLEAM. And it's a plugin on the website to create tasks for your calendar. And you can also integrate it with Notion and manage your meetings and your activities like directly from the chat. And if you want to go even further, you can check the other tool, which is called Bardeen, BARDEEN, Bardeen AI. It creates automations. There are thousands of automations there for you to check. Also, I think, Varvara, I can do something like this after this webinar, that I will collect the tools that I recommend and the other resources, and we will include them in the email. What do you think?
Okay, yeah, I guess it will be fine.
Fantastic.
We'll send the presentation with a link to this recording. And I guess we can move to questions we have in our registration form, if you have it.
Yeah, I have them. We have the 9 questions.
Mm-hmm.
The first question was how an AI can help in customer service. Like for me, the crucial thing about customer service, these are the AI-powered chatbots. They can handle routine inquiries, freeing up human agents to deal with more complex issues. Machine learning algorithms can also predict customer behavior and personalize interactions. There are a lot of pages that you can see in terms of the chatbots that you can speak directly with. And these are solutions also in the market that you can use to build your own chatbot on your data from your store, from your company, from your agency, like whatever, and train it to answer the most popular questions or interact with your customers. The second question was about tools using AI to boost productivity. My favorite ones are Notion, and also Trello has something like that, and Asana also have some automations and integrated algorithms that will help you work faster. Third question was about the use of AI in legal activities. And I know that AI can help in legal research, contract analysis, and prediction for legal outcomes. There are tools also for this one, like ROS and Lex Machina, that will do it. But in terms of the legal activities, you must be careful about the sensitive and personal information from the documents, and especially about hallucinations, because as I previously said, I saw a lot of examples from my friends which works in legal activity that there were a lot of mistakes there. Fourth question, integrating AI into Google Sheets. Is it possible to integrate AI into Google Sheets? Yes, it's possible. It's possible through Google Script Editor and external APIs. It requires a bit more of a technical knowledge, but also in terms of ChatGPT 4 Plus, you have there a plugin called Google Sheet. I will send it in the resources link that you can access the documents and like talk with them, asking about some numbers or changes that can be made in the document. So the next question was the alternatives for ChatGPT. I covered it with Bart. I think the ChatGPT, as for now, personally, is the best tool. Will AI, this is my favorite one, will AI replace everyone and everything? I think no. The AI will automate repetitive tasks, but it's unlikely to fully replace roles that require emotional intelligence, creativity, and complex decision making. Professions in data labeling, AI ethics, and AI maintenance will appear, I guess. And prompt engineering is also a kind of field which is in a trend right now. I don't think that AI will replace everyone in everything. I think AI will allow us to create some kind of a copy of us and allow us to do more interesting things rather than filling the sheets in the Excel, sitting 8 hours straight in our desks. So how to download your information for AI analysis and case studies. You can do it by exporting them in CSV or a JSON format, and companies like Uber and Spotify have used AI to analyze such data for operational efficiency. I didn't do it, so I don't know exactly what are the technical requirements, but I know that ChatGPT can format the output in Markdown and then JSON also. How to use AI for creating photos. I mentioned it in this presentation. You will have the information related to DALL-E and other tools that I mentioned. Dealing with sensitive data in tools like ChatGPT. This is the biggest concern, and I always check the privacy policy and data storage practices of the AI tool that you are using. For highly sensitive data, on-premise solutions might be more appropriate, but as we all know, on-premise solutions are the expensive ones. You can always use ChatGPT enterprise version, but I don't know more about it because I'm not using it. Do you have any necessary knowledge to be part of teams creating digital products? I think this is the best part of it is the understanding of UX UI principles, maybe some project management skills, and the grasp of data analytics will be vital in terms of that. I started my career in the digital economy in the tech field like 10 years ago. That was right after the 2008 financial crash. So it was, I think, a bit easier than even now because the market now is more saturated. I think what my personal advice will be to you is to pick a niche and you pick some 2 or 3 skills that you want to be the best of and dedicate your time to be the best of in these skills and build fundamentals upon that. So the last question is how ChatGPT can help in data analytics everyday work. Okay, so ChatGPT has also another plugin built in the paid version, in the Plus version, which is called Advanced Data Analysis. And you can automate certain tasks there, like drafting SQL queries and turn raw data into more like understandable formats. So there is also an option there while using this plugin to upload some files. So you can upload Excel files, documents, scans of the numbers and things. The possibilities are almost limitless. So yeah, I think that was all of the questions. So from my side.
Oh no, that was not all. We have 2 more in the live chat.
Okay. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, what about Edge in particular, Bing? Do you use it in general?
I use Bing in terms of the plugin which is built in the ChatGPT interface because you may know or not. Microsoft invested a lot of money in OpenAI, and OpenAI is a part of Microsoft, so they have access to their know-how and technologies. I think I like the image generation feature in Bing, and I like the Bing chatbot. And I can't wait to see what Microsoft will offer in terms of the Copilot and integration with Microsoft Office, and especially Excel. So I don't use it much, but sometimes I check what's changed.
What is the most useful way of using ChatGPT for you except notes? And do you use ChatGPT 4.0?
For what? Sorry?
Or ChatGPT 4.
Yes, I use mostly I use the Plus version. I pay monthly for the premium version. So Besides of the notes, I use it a lot just for everything. I can tell you an anecdote that I even do a grocery list from it. I now created a quick checklist before I move to another apartment, because next week I will move to another apartment and I wanted to have everything in check, and maybe some possible suggestions for ChatGPT to get me some actionable steps to do it faster. I also sometimes create some recipes from the things that I have in my fridge. So it's also possible. I have type 1 diabetes, and I also use it for checking the ingredients in some meals in terms of the calories and the fat, protein, and carbs. What else? I mean, I can't mention one specific thing that I use it, because I got so integrated in terms of my workflow with ChatGPT that I use it almost every day for everything. Because Jesus, I will tell it once again, because when you understand how prompt engineering is working, then you will be able to identify your own personal problems within your life, your work, etc., and you will solve them using ChatGPT by creating your own prompts. And I really, really encourage you to do so.
The last question for now. Regarding plugins, do you have any list of useful plugins?
Yes, I have, and I will send them to you via the email that I promised. I tested them, and they do a lot, especially this one, Ask Your PDF, which allows you to extract information from the PDF and talk with the document. Also, the Web Pilot that can search web for you, or VoxScript that can transcript the videos from YouTube to get a summary or other actions. So I will send them also, I promise.
Okay, we believe you. Thank you. We have no questions left in our live chat. So thank you, Aleksander, for this wonderful presentation. And for our listeners, you are welcome to share your opinion about what you heard and what you've seen in the comments under this video. We will share all you asked. The recording, the presentation, the list of plugins tomorrow. You will get them on your email. And for now, I want to share my gratitude with you, Alex, for this webinar, and for everyone who stayed till the end. I wish you a nice evening. Goodbye.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye.